I mean, I've been down on the ground in Dover before. I've been covering this for 2 years. I've done this, you know, it's nothing new. But that sort of number, that sort of
influx, and even the scale of the vessels involved,
it's astounding. And the fact that they're now building a £2 million processing centre, that means they don't expect this to stop at any point soon. In fact, they expect it to continue and get worse.
Yeah, it's also £2 million that's not spent on schools or hospitals or care or the rest of it.
At a time when taxes are going up.
Absolutely. Who do you apportion blame, or how do you apportion blame between the French and the Brits?
I think it's pretty balanced. You know, the French allowing them to leave in the first place, turning a blind eye to it. You can't blame
maliciously?
them. Well, you can't blame them for it. It's in their interest. They don't want those people in France any more than we want them in Britain. So if they leave, it's, you know, well, you can look the other way and not worry about it. But
so in our case, is it incompetence, or is it that our heart really isn't in the game?
I think it's just that the government doesn't care that much. They see it as a problem. Which,
despite everything that Priti Patel has said?
Despite everything they said. Well, I don't think it's Priti who's really to blame. I think it's Boris Johnson who doesn't care so much, and the Cabinet, there's not much support. I think Priti probably does want to solve this issue, even from a PR perspective, even just from her legacy. She doesn't want to be the Home Secretary who presided over the biggest breach of border security in our history, probably.
But does collective cabinet responsibility, which you and I remember from the good old days, does that preclude her saying, I'm really trying my best here, but, you know, there are barriers?
I think there's barriers from above and barriers from below, so she doesn't have any support.
She needs to say that, though, doesn't she?
She does need to say it, but she can't, really, because she can't say, my department is absolutely awful, and the civil servants working for me...
No, John Reid, the Labour Home Secretary, said, my government is not fit for purpose.
I'd love it if she came out and said that. That'd be fantastic. I would say, finally, she's saying what's true. But at the moment, all she does is she says, oh, I'm going to halve them. In 2019, she said she's going to halve the crossings and stop them entirely by spring. And all that's happened is it's risen steadily, to the point now we're at 30,000 a year. It's outrageous.
I introduced you as a research fellow for the Bow Group, which is a conservative with a small c. I mean, it used to be party pre, but it's definitely on the left of the Conservative Party thinking. Is there in your mind a policy solution that would satisfy those who just say, you know, not quite sink them, but, you know, ram them and get rid of them, and those who would say, look, if they are genuinely in fear of their lives, we need to try and give them a break. If they're just here for the economic crack, they can go straight back. Is there a policy that could capture all of that? The
only way to solve this is to stop them from getting in the dinghies and making the crossings in the first place.
That's France.
That's diplomatic. That's incentivising France to prevent these from happening. At the moment, there's no incentive. We give them money. They go, thank you very much, and do nothing about it. We are doing nothing to actually incentivise France stopping these crossings. We need to take the diplomatic approach. And as long as people continue to get into dinghies, cross over, get put up in four-star hotels and given Domino's pizza, I think in the last few days the Home Office has spent £10,000 worth of taxpayer money on Domino's pizza alone for these migrants. It's an obscene waste of taxpayer money. You
said diplomatic 3 times in that conversation. Yeah. Is Liz Truss a better, tougher option?
We'll see. Look, I'm going to give her a chance. I'm going to give her a chance, but I don't expect much, unfortunately. I think a lot of the issues of this government come from the fact that it's the leadership from Boris. He doesn't care about the issue, and I don't think he really intends to solve it.